Hey, you guys, welcome back to Naughty Love Movement. It's your girl, Nikki, and today I'm bringing opportunities for advertisement on my channel. If anyone is interested, they can email us at knottylove2020@gmail.com. Our prices are affordable and reasonable, and please reach out to us. We can start our videos with any commercials that you would like us to advertise. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm out. One. Thank you. I wanted to see what. Good morning, everybody. The mute button. Gotta love it, right? Good morning. How's everybody doing? I hope everyone is well. Welcome back to Naughty Love Movement. It's your girl, Nikki. Bring you the latest and trending topics. And I vlog my life, okay? So excited to be with you guys this morning. And this morning, I wanted to have like an open panel to see what my naughty crew wanted to talk about. I mean, I have topics we could talk about. But before we get into today's content, please remember to hit that like, subscribe, and that bell button so you can be notified when I update content to my channel, and share my content on your different social media platforms. Please, all these things help me move through YouTube algorithm and grow. So please support the channel. Okay, donations are accepted but not required. You still can't hear me, Robin? Okay, thank you. Yes, you guys, how's everybody doing? Good morning, Gabrielle. Good morning, Robin. Good morning, Lobby Boy. Thank you for joining me for Trending Topics. Yes, yes. Also, please don't forget to place your orders for your hat wraps, okay? Let me know. We can set up a consultation. Send me a DM on my Instagram page, which is scrolling across the bottom in the banner, okay? Um, Prices are affordable and reasonable, and I have a lot of treats for you guys, all right? Robin, come backstage if you can. So, like, I'm having an open panel discussion, but I'll kick it off while everybody loads in and everything. Oh my God, the city of Newark is trending. As you all know, I'm from New Jersey. Okay, my parents are Newark natives. All right. But yeah, they got scammed, you guys. That's why you have to be careful. You have to vet people. All right. And it's as simple as a Google search. All right. But yeah, Newark is on fire this morning. Okay, because they tried to partner with a sister company. With Hindi. It was an Indian country. Shout out for CBS News for this article. So, City of Newark falls for sister city scam. Whose job was it to do a simple Google search? Okay, nuts, nuts. So, some of the highlights from the article that I gathered, they admitted that it was a simple mistake and they did not realize that it was a scam until they had the opening ceremony. So it was about to become a sister city with a Hindu nation, but there was one problem: the nation doesn't exist. Okay. So the cities found out about the fraud after they held an official ceremony. Okay. And I was just like, what? This is it, I, you know what? Everybody's human. Everybody's human. Things happen. So they were trying to come up with a cultural trade agreement. But, residents of Newark are speaking out. Jacob Rosario says, very embarrassing for the city. Atia Harris says, I truly don't even have words for it. Amaris Mitchell says, I'm really sorry for the city that they got duped in that way. Seriously. But, we got to be more careful and let this be a learning lesson, okay? I mean, do we have to hold them to the fire? Exactly. But I mean, I would just think they would be more careful than this, right? But the councilman spoke out, Louis Quintana. He said, this is an oversight, cannot happen any longer. That's it. Take accountability. But they're not going to let this stop them from doing other partnerships, all right? Because no money exchanged hands, thank God. So, okay, no problem. Gabrielle, you said I need history class. Good morning, darling. Good morning. Well, it's good night over there.
Hello. How are you? It's
I'm well.
afternoon.
Oh, it's
It's
afternoon.
lunchtime. But I'm at home today. It's my home day. It's my day home.
Oh, great. How are you feeling?
Oh my gosh, it's like like I was in washing machine, something. My life,
Hmm.
I was like, with all my clothes in washing machine, and I think every my energy is gone. I'm so tired today, so tired. But yesterday it was the day in France, the 8th March. It's the day of the fighting for the right of the woman. It was
Oh, so yeah, like happy Woman History Future Month to everyone. As you all
yes,
saw, I started the show with that.
it was the
Yes,
day. It was yesterday. It was the 8th Wednesday March for 8 March. Or the 8th March of every year. It's a in France. It's a day for the fighting for the right of the woman.
yes, it is,
Well,
and we
it was
celebrated
very
that month.
It's why I called today because the theme of today, Women History Month, we are on it. We are on it.
Yes, we are on it. Exactly. And I
And
wanted, because I have women from all walks of life that support me, and I wanted to celebrate you all. And I felt like this photograph, this picture captured it.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. I don't know. It's you making it because it's beautiful. I love it. It's all the women from all the part of the world, together in sorority. I think it's important to women to be support all the women, and I think now it's very important now with everything is happening in the world. Seriously, I think it's very important to fight for our right in all the part of the world, in USA, in France, in Iran, in all the other country.
Yeah, we have to unite universally. I
Yes.
agree. And it's important that we don't tear each other down. We hold each other accountable, but with love and compassion and understanding. You understand? So I stand for everything woman. And as you all saw, Roe versus Wade got overturned.
Oh yes, what
I
happened
mean, this
exactly? Can you explain me what happened? Because I see the news, but I don't understand all the implication. And I know you know much better than me because I don't know all the law from USA. I know some of part, but I'm very sometimes very a newbie about all this legal thing in USA.
exactly. So Roe versus Wade was based on a woman's right to choose
Mm-hmm.
if they want to bring a child into the life or not, because of many different circumstances. And women fought for years to get that upheld in the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
And then, once the Trump administration came through, they were on a manhunt to get that overturned. And they succeeded. And so now in certain states, a woman is not allowed to
To
have that choice,
yes, I see that.
of
I
what
see
to do with their body,
I see young girls, very young girls who had some, was, SA, need to get to another state to get rid of this, to get out of this situation, but
Mhm,
very minor, not 16 or 17, very minor, girls. And I remember I see a clip from I don't know his name, this guy, doing a podcast, very famous. I think it's Joe Rogan, who say
mhm,
you can to make a 14-year-old children go through that situation alone and don't take the choice to get through, to was obligated to do all the pregnancy alone. It's forbidden. It's a crime. She need to have the choice. And I think it's important because it's a when you have a traumatic situation, or maybe you have health issue, and you need to have a choice, and
mhm,
you need to go in a commission to say no, you need to go through all of it, and maybe at the end have a very big risk of passed
mhm,
away.
mhm,
I try to find the right word because YouTube, and to pass away. I think it's unfair to have, maybe I see the picture, it was 20 or 12 men deciding for all the women in USA, and none of that men see a problem on that. None of that woman around this main, assistant or secretary say, I think maybe it's going to be problematic, because what's happening if someone you knew, your sister, your aunt, your friend, the daughter of your friend, all the woman at different age gonna be on that situation and maybe had very big health issue, to get
Hmm.
to know you can't, and you need maybe to go through that, and no matter what's happening to you, I think it's very, so much illegal. It's remind me the book I read, and now it's TV shows On My Tail. And I remember the author say, I know, she said, why I don't take another country, just USA, because I think in USA it's going to be a time when a woman are be very, in danger to be a woman. It's going to be risky to be a woman.
I think anything's possible, Gabrielle, at this point. It's just another suppression tactic. You've seen it through the years, okay? America always has to have its foot on its neck trying to suppress some culture so that they can feel like the big bad, wolves.
Yes.
It's crazy. But this has been a pattern through the years. It's been the same pattern of them trying to suppress from our people and what happened in the slave trade, okay, to women, all right, to
And you
families,
know what I find very strange is they say, okay,
Native Americans.
you don't
Like,
have the access to that thing, okay, but I read some article that say it's other, part of the healthcare of women, also in the raw, law, taking away. You can have, OBGYN, guidance during any part of your life for woman. No OBGYN, no access OBGYN. It's very complicated. And I say, but if you are, a cancer of, woman part, everything like that, who you can know if you can access someone? Okay, the
exactly.
access of the healthcare, of the basic healthcare too, it's forbidden. And I try to read some article to see, okay, what the states, when they do that forbidden, are making to help women if they go through all the pregnancy and have the kids. No fund help, no, some to help people, no childcare, childcare, opening, nothing. You have your kids, you be stuck with your kids, no help by the state. And say, what is the purpose at the end? To make women stay at home and not working?
Oh
It's really.
yeah, barefoot and pregnant.
Oh,
No, no, but I think women are a lot more assertive now and progressive. And we're not putting up and shutting up anymore. So, I mean, they could try to suppress us all they want, but I think we have a lot of people, us coming up in the Senate and everything. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited to celebrate Women's History Month with you guys. Um, are you, Gabrielle? Do you have any topics that you want to sound off about? I mean, since
oh, what my topics are today? Maybe the fact my salary is always less than a man in France too. It's something I'm very,
really,
yes, in France too, we have the same problem. Less money. I can be very smart. What I heard today. I try to change my job, and I do something now to working some in business field, like was in the past. I changing, and when I speak with men, when I was much younger, I don't have this problem with men. When I speak to them, they listen to me. They say, "Okay, everything is good." Now I'm almost 40. I'm 39 years old, but I have a baby face always. And
right?
Laja can have this testimony. I always had the baby face because I had good skincare, but they don't listen to me. I can have the good answer, the good solution in my work field. I was always disqualified. It
Wow.
it's just insane, and I just need to make some variation on that situation. The fact I'm from North Africa, in
Uh huh.
France, Arabic name is very complicated. The fact I'm not thin and sexy, when you are beautiful, no matter your origins, men are listening to you. If you are sexy and beautiful and smart, and they listen to you because they are men. But when you are some for and women's, and I see that is true, make my life much difficult in France. France,
Mm-hmm.
true. It's not a joke, because when you are not a stereotype, when you are not, the image, like a black angry woman or a North African woman,
Mm-hmm.
like that, they
Mm-hmm.
don't understand your existence. You are like, some, like an extraterrestrial, like an alien. You are like an alien because you are not a stereotype. I don't have, I speak English. For them, it's very complicated to understand that. I speak Spanish, I speak Arabic, I speak French. I go.
Oh,
My Spanish is not
yes.
good, but my Spanish I take it back. But I can to do so much thing, and the fact I was a woman from Africa but white are problematic for them, for people. And the first topic I understand is the fact I was woman, the fact I was not on the beauty standard, the fact I was come from Africa, North Africa too, and the fact I'm smart. And when you do all these four lines, I think I'm not alone, but when you come in the field for business, for the tech industry, from big with these big men, and you
Mm-hmm.
are very, I'm chill, I'm chill. When I speak with these men, I always say, but you have, the same, hobbies like us, the same book you read, the same anime you see. I say yes, and you don't get in the stigma of your seduction. It's very problematic for women. I will tell you that. It's
Wow.
very problematic. It's not a joke. It's why, but I have this, I think you speak once about this feminine and masculine energy. It's
Mm-hmm.
and I see the book of I think it's calling April Mason, Identity Switch. I read this book. I had the audiobook. I loved it because it's so true. And she's black woman. She speak, and I in her what she said is very that the energy of black woman or woman from Africa, we are afraid people. We are afraid people. I remember this TikTok of that woman from the south. She's white, and she said, why white women are afraid from black women in America? Because we are afraid of you, because you are much stronger, much smarter than us. Much it's very, and she said that very, genuinely, and she was very genuine and very candid, and she was very, honest, and say white women in USA are afraid of black women, truly, because
Interesting.
and I think, I mean, and maybe I'll try to find this TikTok. I will send you that because one of my friends sent you that, and we speak. I had a best friend. She's from Africa. She's from Cameroon. She's beautiful. You see Naomi Campbell. You see my friend, and she's psychologist. She had a style. She speak with a sexy voice. She's wonderful. When she come in a room, all the men and women are looking at her. All, and she had a problem, and she speak to me. She is seen like a threat by white woman in France because she's smart. And it's very something I see. And when I speak on that with my French friend, they don't see it. But when I speak with black woman, black African American woman from USA, they understand me.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
when I get in this topic, because it's true.
Make
The
sure y'all hitting that like, because Gabrielle up here dropping jewels. We celebrating Women's History Month. Okay, I wanted to, because I have a lot of women supporters from all different backgrounds, cultures. So please hit that like button and share this video out. So, Robin, it's an open panel today. I'm gonna let my naughty crew choose like the topics they want to talk about, and we elaborate. That's why I started a little earlier so we could get hey Fez morning. Okay. Happy Women's History Month.
yes, happy.
Yes, we are up here. We have open panel discussion. And we haven't chatted in a while. So I wanted open panels. So whatever topics you want to sound off about, you can leave it in the comments if you can't come up on the panel. But please join us.
I
I'm
had one topic I want to ask you because I think you really know housewife. Why do you think the image, the woman of housewife, all the franchise are created to help a woman in the world? Maybe help them or drown them, because I don't know what woman of real, all the franchise of real housewife are helping or not women to present a woman.
I really feel like Housewives is watered down at this point.
Mhm.
There's no authenticity behind it anymore. I like the earlier Housewives days, but
Yes.
now it's more like tearing each other down, tearing relationships apart, and things like that. That's why I love Married to Medicine, because even though they have their mess, you
Yes.
still see them giving back to the community. They come together, you know what I mean, and make sure people are checking on their health and educating the community. So that's why I ride with that show. The Housewives is really like watered down to me at this point.
I don't think you think watered down.
Yeah.
I don't. I think that it's overproduced, which is very different from watered down. I
Yes.
actually have declared that with the conclusion of this season's Potomac, I
Oh,
100% will not watch. I promise myself to never watch a Housewives show again because it
oh,
defies everything that I understand about people for real. It defies everything I know about friend groups. I
mm-hmm.
also think that it defies the whole notion of what the initiation of reality shows was. So
Mm-hmm.
the
Oh,
formula for Housewives, first of all, everybody's not friends, so they throw these people together. I will
yes.
say that I'm part of several friend groups, and I have never once been out with any group of my friends, either that I belong to, where we have, for example, been out dining. No one has thrown drinks or food or cursed people out. We don't plan, plot, scheme, and lie on each other. So that is so inauthentic to me and my lived experience. And it's also come to a point where I take great offense at the behavior. So I'm walking away for those reasons. And in addition to that, what happens now is they do pre-produce these shows, right? And we saw this with the Potomac people. And if you have a story to tell your story. If you don't want to tell your story, stay off TV. Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't sign up for it. But I
Oh,
understand that, we all need a check, and this is how they choose to get it. It would be fine if they were being real and realistic and honest about their experiences, but they're not. So then everything is so manufactured. Also, I mean, I'm part of friend groups. All of us don't go on a trip as often as these people do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Together.
mm-hmm.
And also the last minute nature of events that they have is so convoluted that I'm really done. So yeah,
And when I say watered down, Robin, I mean like it's becoming more, it's getting further away from their lives, where they're just, it's not even a show you know what I mean? It's not
it
even
may hold
following
its
their
true.
lives anymore.
It's
It's
not a
It
more
may
reality
focused
TV
on the
show.
scheme that they set up
Oh,
prior.
right.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
you know what? I used to write a blog, and I'm reviving it now. I just started
Mhm.
writing my new piece, and it has
Okay.
to do with the implosion of reality.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
oh.
it's,
I like it.
I'll
I
let you
think
know. It's
I
it's
think
really
it's
good.
true.
I'm a great writer.
Yes, she is. I got your email, Robin. I was like, wow, Robin, she writes
Oh,
so
where
eloquently.
I can find your blog, Robin? Robin, where I
It's
can.
on the blog spot. It's called Robin's Rantings excuse me, Robin's Rantings, Ravings, and Robservations.
Okay, I will say that
I'm
on
gonna
the.
write it. I'll put it in the
Okay.
chat. But
Put it in the
Oh,
chat,
okay.
Robin.
On the
mhm.
chat. Good. I think it's
And
true because you know what you say, Naughty and Robin, is true. We are before in reality TV show. Now it's a soap opera. It's not a reality TV show. The word reality is something not true because we see the situation when reality is coming back with Erika Jensha and the Tom Sandoval story. It's time 3 time and reality or someone have big health issue, you have the writing coming back. But after that, it's just a show with a storyline I'm making up like a TV show, a series TV show, not a reality TV show.
Mhm.
It's new.
yeah.
It's with the scenario they have writer to do storyline and Bravo say no it's not true. I think it's true because remember when it's you yesterday speaking about when they have the strike of the guild
The
what
Writers Guild is
yes,
where
they have
the
strike
mhm.
and people get back in reality TV show, but we see the difference during the strike of guild writing, because the show is now as scripted. truly scripted.
It's true. You know, it's funny because I'll share this. One of the questions I have that's part of what I'm writing, I have a labor background. That is my heart, and that's where I started my professional career in the labor movement in New York City. And the questions I have are, where is SAG-AFTRA and where is the Writers Guild? Because you have these people who are now on these reality shows. Very often they're credited as actors, and I wonder whether or not they're dues paying members for SAG-AFTRA. And then the Writers Guild, because a scripted, or they say produced as these things are, there's some level or measure of script that has to come about. And I'm like, I will be filing so many unfair labor practice, all kind of stuff against these people because they're taking jobs away from my membership. But that's a whole nother story. Yes, the whole everything, the influx of reality shows did come about with the strike, the writers' strike. God, I forgot what year it was, but it was
2 years ago, maybe before COVID, just before COVID, I think it was just maybe
it was several years before, yeah,
17
at least
or
10 years ago.
Yes, I had a question. You said you work in the labor union defending, people. What is now in the world of today in USA the right of women when you're working are really, in the good way or not a good way? Because I see the difference in France. My salary is less than a man. But what is going on for you, woman in USA when in the work field? Because you have some expertise like about that.
There are a lot of different movements and issues and areas. The first of them is that there's a whole lot. Let me start here. You're in the past, I'm going to speak to New York City because we just passed a law in New York where an employer who posts a new job has to, by law, also publish the salary or salary range for a position. So that's going to give a little bit more equanimity, so people have an idea about, what people might be making. The only way that there's real pay parity and equity comes when you are a member of a labor union, because your wages are set by the contract. The employer is not compelled to disclose the individual salaries of anybody at all.
So if you are a woman and you are working in a company, maybe a company, not just a cashier retail, but in office, you do a best job than your co-worker in the same place, same job. You have a mail. Maybe you need to. I take the marketing. You have a marketing job. Okay, you have your coworker is a male. When you get your job the first time, you have the contract. If you don't get on union, you don't get the capacity to ask the equity on your salary.
Right.
Oh.
Well, what would happen I know what you're saying. So you and I have the same job. One's a male, one's a female. We have equal knowledge, skills, abilities, and pretty much we have our job performance reviews are the same or similar. And the male gets more than the woman does. One of the things that can be done is you can sue your employer for discrimination based on sex. And the best scenario in that respect is better than a one-on-one. But if you're in a situation where you have a group of people, like if it's more of two or more of your gender and you're experiencing this, then you can do file a class action lawsuit, which will give everybody the exposure information, and hopefully when you win, a bump up in your salary with back pay.
Okay. And what is your best advice when you are a young woman in any field to, since the beginning, have the good tips to avoid to have less than a man? What is your good tips, a good thing to do first thing? What is your best advice?
The best advice that no one ever tells any of us, especially I'm older than you guys, but they never tell you to understand your own worth and be clear about it and don't back down.
That's it.
That's
it. And you took the words right out of my mouth, Robin.
Always
stand in your worth. All right.
Can I tell you?
Know your value.
there was a job I applied for, and I read the job description, and I thought, I was like, I would be perfect for this job.
Mm-hmm.
And they called me and they did this pre-interview. And when they asked me what my salary requirement was, I told them. And they said, can you take this? Which is like about maybe about $30,000 less than I requested. Mine, I still haven't gone in for the interview. And I said, absolutely not. They said, well, this is this is our range. I know this is what we're offering. I said, I'm sure that your range is a lot higher, and I'm at the top of it. If you can't meet that, then you can't have me. So I didn't get that job. I didn't have the interview. But you just have to know that, stand your ground. Never lowball yourself. I say if you have to negotiate, we learned in negotiations, you have your target and your acceptance point. I would always go in higher so you can negotiate down to your acceptance point. It's not easy, Gabrielle. It can be daunting because you're not the one you don't have the position, power, or authority, but what you do have is those things with and for yourself. And just go in high and know and be clear about what you're worth. And sometimes it's not even money. Sometimes it's just with people challenging you for the job you got. Like I remember my very first time I went to our state capitol.
Mm-hmm.
I was just hired as a lobbyist.
Yes.
So I go up and I'm very outgoing. So I'm introducing myself to these lawmakers I have never met before.
Yeah.
And I remember, I will never forget, there was one assembly member from the borough of Brooklyn, very prominent. And I didn't know him, but I knew about him. So from friends and stuff. So I go up to him in Albany. I introduce myself. I tell him, what my role was. And I remember my arrogance, which I was very proud of, and I remain so to this day. He said, "Now, sister, you mighty young to have the job that you're doing now, don't you think?" I said, "What I know is that the job that you think I'm young for today, I'm going to be the one that you're going to be looking up to later when you get old."
Oh.
And I said, "Did I say that?" But it was like I felt like he was denigrating, dismissing me for my youth, not knowing anything about me, but just evaluating me based on I was in my 20s. But I had my stuff. I was good. But can I ask you a question, Gabrielle?
Yes.
I'm hoping that you can answer this. This has nothing to do with what we talked about. But I heard when you said that you speak 3 languages. Did you say 3 or 4?
Yes, I speak French, I speak Arabic, and I speak English too. And I write and I read in English. I do everything. I work with English too. And I had Spanish and lost form of Spanish, but I can speak Spanish very slow, but I can. Yes. So maybe 4 and
Yo
Italian.
también.
Oui.
Sí. Oh, no, okay. Nací en Italia. So I was born in Italy, and my first language was Italian.
Yes, not mine. Italian, I read it, but I don't speak it. It's very different. But my ex was Italian. I had a girlfriend.
So I'm not fluent at all anymore. But now I wonder, how do you navigate? How do you make your brain work to when you're speaking one language over another? Because one of the things that I've done in recent years is attempted to reclaim that part of me that speaks Italian, because I live in the Bronx, so we speak a lot of Spanish or Spanglish depending on where you are. And when I sit and I go through and I try and I do all different exercises. I have a CD in my car. I do Duolingo.
You need to speak with people. You need to speak.
Well, you know what? You're right. But when I just sit with myself, I find that I will translate from English to Spanish to Italian.
Yes, because my first language, and I say to everybody, is Arabic. Algeria. I'm from. I learn French, but when I'm speaking, I try to think in every language when I speak, and sometimes it's mixed up. It's elasticity of brain. Is give you that, but I can't give my best advice. For me, Spanish is because I lost my Spanish. And sometimes in English I lost my words too. I try to learn vocabulary, to speak with people, and to do like YouTube like that in other languages. With time I lost my Arabic, so I try to speak more Arabic too, and it's always speaking. speaking, reading, see filming, and have speak to yourself, in your languages, and have a conversation. It's the best way. I think it's the best way to do. But it's a brain elasticity. People don't understand why it's much easier to you, but I think it's more easier to anyone had a double language to learn a third language. It depends what, but but it's like that. It's elasticity thing. I had a friend, an African friend from Senegal. He knows maybe 12 different languages, dialectal languages from Africa, from Bambara, Peul, all this, Peul, Wolof, Bambara, Julai, everything like that. There are different dialects from different parts of the country of Senegal, Mali, Côte d'Ivoire, and Cameroon, Ivory Coast. So it's elasticity. Much you speak, much you learn.
Yeah, the pandemic has really closed me off because I don't go out as much, and it's funny because
you can go in a panel with people speaking Italian. Like me, I do. I go on panel, speaking. My English is much better because when I was much before pandemic, I go in New York. I stay always 3 months in New York, so my first accent was much New Yorker. It was much tough. And after that, I go to LA and I go to London much better. And slowly, I don't take the LA accent, but I must take UK accent. But I came back to New York accent. But my French accent is coming back stronger now. It's why people have difficulties to understand me, because I learned the English from UK, but I jumped to US. So some slang from UK I understand, but slang from US I can understand every time because it's not it's not the English I learn, And people see that when I speaking, they see it's more from UK than US. Yeah, some good English speakers say, "Oh, you learn your English from UK." You see that because I learn really the way to do grammar and syntaxes is more from UK for my part, because it's why we learn in France. And the US English is more not lazy, but it's more slowy. When you speak, you can speak very longer. But in UK, no, you take back your accent. It's very the dynamic.
You just told me something I didn't even realize until you just said that you're right with different languages. So I can understand Spanish a lot better if you speak slowly. But if you speak really quickly, it like sometimes I'm like, huh, and you can just be saying good morning. I'm like, you're talking too fast sometimes. But okay.
But for me,
I didn't know about panels. Thank you for telling me. I didn't know that there were panels that you could join.
I think that panel, it's why I go in US panel, but not a Spanish panel. But from English, I understand very good. I don't have need to have translator at all. No title, nothing. Because when I heard yesterday you do a panel with Larja, I understand everything. I was outside another one with my earphone on my hair, and I understand everything, and it was very like that. But we have this calendar for our mom protest outside. What is it, Knotty? You show them. What is it?
Oh, yeah. This California mom, she was protesting outside of her daughter's school because she was called a slave and with a jump rope by another student. It's sad.
Heck no.
It's sad. So look, I can play a little bit of the audio and we could discuss. Okay.
But I can do that. And you know about the girl in Philly? Her classmates put black spray paint on her face.
Yeah, I heard that story on TikTok.
I just need to make a call during 10 minutes, but I just mute my microphone. I will come back. So
okay,
I will come back.
Okay.
I just learned something. Thank you.
Yeah, that's why I have open panels.
I've not done anything for my 6th grade daughter.
This mother says after feeling ignored, she's left with no choice but to demonstrate outside her daughter's school in Santa Ana and pull her 10-year-old out of the school district.
They're sweeping underneath the rug.
Jasmine Harris is talking about an incident on March 1st at Santiago Elementary School. Her 5th grader Paris Barnes was playing with her friends at lunchtime when she says a classmate whipped a jump rope towards her and told her, quote, Get back to work, you slave.
It was very disrespectful, and I just felt really hurt inside.
Mom says she's not satisfied with the response from administrators on campus or staff with the Santa Ana Unified School District. Harris has taken to social media demanding answers. She wants to know whether the other fifth grader is being disciplined.
I want the little boy to get expelled. I want them to do something about this.
Harris tells Eyewitness News because the other student involved is a minor. She went to the Orange County District Attorney's Office to press charges against him, hate crime, and attempted assault on a minor. A spokesperson with the OCDA's office says they can't comment on cases involving a juvenile. Other parents, among about a dozen.
All right, this is fair use, but shout out to All Black for dropping this footage. And I just think that it is very sad that this behavior is still perpetuated. That child got that from somewhere. All right. My heart goes out to this mom. But I understand and I can relate to how she feels, because that's why I am homeschooling my daughter now, because I just felt like the school was failing my daughter and they were setting her up to fail. And before that happens, I'm going to make the situation better and work with her at home. And at the end of the day, it's just becoming more and more dangerous in schools now.
Wow. Okay, so homeschooling is new for you, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, we did the virtual during the pandemic, but yeah.
Oh wow. So I'm shocked and sorry that you feel like you have to take that measure.
Yeah, I'm tired of fighting the school. I'm tired, you know what I mean? Nothing's getting done, and they're basically letting my child get assaulted. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you're setting my daughter up to get a record, basically. And it's just sad. So I made the choice to homeschool for peace of mind for both of us, for her mental health and things like that.
And physical safety. Yeah.
And now I don't have to, because I was just I gotta alleviate and balance out my stress. You know what I mean? So it's been a lot calmer since we've been home. You know what I mean? The worry's not there when she goes out that door. It's going to happen. What's going to happen? I mean, it's just been a lot lately. So for this to happen, that's why I related to the story when she felt like the system failed her, because that's what was going on. The school, something will happen. They suspend everybody and that's it.
Oh. No, that was just happening. Stay away. You know what's interesting about what I'm forming this new opinion as we speak. When we went on lockdown because of the pandemic, some people were bugging out. And I was like, why are you bugging out for staying home? Do you not realize that we have been training to stay home for a long time? And you know who trained us? Amazon, Netflix, Uber Eats,
making it more comfortable.
Everybody talk, everybody. So if you're bugging out now, you've been staying home. And I wonder if the fact that, people are poor, the young people in general, their socialization has been poor. The way that we relate to each other has been too toxic and physically harmful and emotionally harmful as well. And I wonder if the steps that you took, because you just said, we did it during the pandemic, we did virtual, that prepared you to make this choice. Look at that. And I think, what are we going to end up being, a society on permanent seclusion?
Exactly. But it's just a lot of untreated kids in the schools, and the parents aren't getting them the help that they need. And they're going to school and acting out.
So do you think that there's a preponderance of this kind of bad behavior? Do you think it's new? Or do you believe it's always existed, but never manifested for some reason? I don't understand the numbers, if you will. I don't know how different, what has made society so different that
social media
is so bad.
Social media. Everybody's opinions count. Social media added a whole nother layer to bullying. And that's what's real. And it goes from social media into real life. And then you have celebrities, if you will, who perpetuate this bad behavior and make it seem like it's okay to act out, when that's really not socially acceptable, because in the real world you could go to prison for things like that. But you have like your Christian Rocks, your Jaguars, they're making an outlandish behavior, like people want to see it, people are tuned in, they're watching it.
And they also find that, I think that they piggyback on it, and they mimic that same behavior, and it becomes groupthink. And then groupthink turns into that selective outrage.
Exactly. And then also you have like how do I want to say this? The kids do not know how to communicate verbally anymore.
Right.
Social and emotional intelligence is on a decline, and I believe that's why you're seeing a lot of these acting out. But there's no more like, we come from sitcom era where you had these shows where demonstrating a different array of family structures, right?
And people interacting.
And people are interacting and stuff. And now it's just all this reality, right? This fake reality TV. And then you get all these little networks, right? That make it, they make it acceptable what is not acceptable in the mainstream on those platforms. So then you have the bad girls clubs, the baddies, and things like that. That has a whole nother layer, because those shows, they tune in, and all they show is people lashing out to resolve conflict, when that's not a healthy way at all. I mean, all right, say what you want about Christian Rock. Yeah, she trending. She had the glow up and this and that or whatever, but she got the glow up off of bad behavior. You understand?
Is that the one who got her tooth knocked out?
Yeah.
Okay. I do my best to only stay current enough to know who people are talking about.
Yeah.
But I'm so disturbed by the behavior. I don't want to have too much intimate knowledge, because I just think it's.
No, I get it. That's why, I pick and choose when I speak about certain topics. But certain topics are trending. That's you know what I mean? So that's a part of it or whatever. But I just really think like the kids are socially what's a nice way? Challenged.
You know what's funny? When you said earlier about communicating, it reminded me, this is an old story, but I think that it translates today. One day my girlfriend had come to my house for something with my godson. And as they were leaving, she tells me this story. Her mother was a daycare provider in the home. And so she took care of my godson before he went to school and these other kids. But they went to the house, and the grandmother had kids there. And when they left, my godson says to his mother, "Ma," and I can't tell you, he wasn't like 8 years old. "Ma, you see that girl, Michelle, at Nana's house?" "Yes." "She sure is pretty, Ma." "Okay. You know, Ma, I would like to knock her boots." This is in the era of Martin. I said, "What he say?" She said, "Yeah." He said, "I sure would like to knock his boots." Her boots. I said, "Well, what did you say to him?" She said, "I didn't say anything." I said, "What do you mean you didn't say anything?" She said, "Well, I figured he was just talking. He didn't know what he was talking about." I said, "Okay, I ain't nobody's mother right now, but I'm his godmother. And let me tell you what you need to do. I'm going to tell you what to do."
Since you don't know how.
You're going to have a conversation with him. And it's casual, because you talk all the time. You're gonna be in the car. Turn to him and say, "Son, you know the other day when you said that you sure would like to knock Michelle's boots? What does that mean?" I said, "Ask him, what does that mean? Because If he is not able to tell you what that means, then you say to him, son, what the words you use are called slang, and we don't do slang. I need you to say exactly what you mean and use the words to say what what you mean. Use your words.
Exactly.
And I said, now on the other hand, if he does know what it means, then I know he's young, but he needs to go to the clinic and get a job.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward, she had to chat with him. And when she asked him what did that mean, he said to her, "Oh ma, you know what it is. It's that 3-letter word, that thing that people do."
Ooh, see, these kids be.
And I said, "So you've had the talk and you're going to the clinic or something, and where's the job coming from?" And I was like, don't underestimate these kids. You have to tune in a different kind of way. But I also, in that moment, I became very clear about communication and being clear about what people say, what they mean when they say what they do. And if there's ever any doubt, especially on it where there's subject matter that can be volatile, sketchy, problematic, concerning, you really need to whittle down to figure out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
That was my personal life lesson from the child, the boy.
Wow. I mean, it's the importance of addressing situations on the spot and correcting these things.
Yeah.
It can make all the difference in the world, because the moment that you see your child is thinking that something is acceptable, and you know it,
If you don't
you have to
call
correct
them on it, it becomes.
You got to call it on it. You cannot be scared to correct them at all. So I appreciate your thoughts on that, Robin. Seriously, because it's important that we raise our children, right?
Yes.
And this is a part of it. You got to hold them accountable. You got to hold them accountable. If you start holding them accountable from when they're young, they won't have a problem holding themselves accountable when they're adults. And people have to
100%.
remember, when you're raising kids, you're raising your children to be adults.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Raising them,
If
put
that
them
makes
out in
sense.
the world, not yours to keep.
Not yours to keep. Not yours to keep. I'm trying to find this article, Robin,
About what?
about the ex-CEO of BET, Deborah. What was her name? She talked about how she had an affair with the original owner of BET. And I was like,
She did?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm finding it for
Johnson?
you.
His name was John. No, her name Deborah.
Deborah something.
Not Johnson.
I thought it was Deborah Cox, maybe?
No, Deborah Cox is a singer.
Not Cox. Deborah something. So yeah, ultimately she felt strapped. Deborah Lee, yes, she felt that she had to stay in the relationship. She felt pressure to stay in a relationship because he kind of used his power and was like, if we end, then you end here at BET. But then she went, she went on to build a great career and she retired. But people are saying like, oh, she kind of slept her way to the top. Okay, that's the other side of it. That is not my opinion. Okay, this is what people are saying about the situation. And I was quite surprised to hear this news.
That's news to me.
Or whatever. So I'm gonna find the story. It's buried.
I'm going. When you said BET, I thought about the original wife of the owner of BET.
He was
and
married.
She has really built a serious empire herself. She's in the hospitality business. Oh God, she just opened a big old a resort, or I don't know if it's a resort or a just a luxury hotel. And I swear I just saw within the last 6 months, I saw something on TV with her.
Here it is. I found it, Robin. Here we go.
Deborah Lee had an affair.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking forward to learning about this.
I was like, what?
Because the power dynamics are so important in a relationship, and especially if you're having a relationship with someone you want.
Right.
With Bob Johnson, is that why they got divorced?
I worked for Bob Johnson for 10 years before we had a personal romantic relationship, and he was a mentor, and he pushed me, and he's responsible for a lot of my success. We did have a relationship while we were both married. We ended up both divorced, and then people knew about the relationship. The company knew, public, we started going places together. The downfall of a relationship like that is if you want to get out of it. And that's the part where it came, and I wanted to break up. I saw it wasn't a long-term relationship, and my job and my career was held over my head. And it was like, well, if you want to break up with me, then you can leave tomorrow. And that was, 20 years into my career at BET. So I would have lost everything. Yeah. I would have lost my career, my job, my ability maybe to get another job, because if I couldn't get a reference from the person I worked for 20 years, how do I explain that? And by that time I was a single mother with 2 children. So it was a tough time, and I didn't have anyone to talk to about it because I didn't have female role models. There weren't a lot of women ahead of me. I was embarrassed to talk to my family about it. So it was a dark time, and what saved me was therapy. And eventually Bob left the company and I became CEO. And I was CEO for 13 years without him being there. And I was able
a lot of success.
Right. And to live my dream and without, any form of harassment. So I guess after Me Too and Time's Up, I wanted women to know there's other kind of harassment. It's not all a man coming to the door in a robe. Because the power dynamics are so important in a relationship, and especially.
So she stayed with him to keep her
No.
job? Oh, thank God, because what she does exactly?
Yes.
Oh,
Hi, Miss Brenda.
it's insane.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have some people. She is a beautiful woman. I'm glad she was vulnerable with us and opened up about this.
Yes.
Wow.
So they had an affair.
It speaks to you, Gabrielle, that dynamic, that power dynamic, the man over the woman.
Yes, it's true, because she was already in a big high job and she had an affair with him. But when she said, okay, we need to finish that, it's not a good thing for us to just have a breakup, like a normal breakup. He said, if you do that, I will just finish your career. It's very, and where is the love at the end? Because if it was an affair, it was consent between 2 people and, something, feelings,
Yeah.
Exactly.
But this also speaks to what I said to you earlier, Gabrielle. Did you hear her say he was responsible for my success?
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't know her worth. She didn't know
exactly, Robin. Robin, why are you all in my head this morning? You keep taking the words out of my mouth.
Yes, because you know what?
Because I'm speaking English. I'm speaking faster than you right now. That's all.
Yes. She can get over her head today now. I don't know what it was the time for the interview. She working by herself too. It give her a chance to get the job, maybe to get a way to have success. But it doesn't do her work at her place. She is working to her success, and now she doesn't see. She take accountability for that too. Today is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it sad that if you listen to that, the first part she said, she worked under him for 10 years. He was responsible for her success. But what about those 13 years she was there without him?
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't shown the door. That's what's sad is, so she was also, again, she came in not knowing her worth. She also sounds like she was definitely manipulated. Definitely he held her job over her head, but
So, you know,
it took over 20 years to figure it out that she was not an underling for underling's sake. She just didn't have a higher position. That's disgusting.
You know,
And this is why it's important to understand your worth and stand in your truth and stand by your beliefs. Don't let anybody let you waver from that.
And you have an ego. You know what I say to my friends now? I say I have the audacity like Donald Trump at the same level. I say I want to have the arrogance and the audacity like a white cis man, because you know when they do something bad, they don't take the accountability. Say, "Oh, I do mistake. Okay, it's okay," and they that. And I think when I try to get this position very masculine too, is helping me to get through people under me and try to disqualify and discreditable my work. I say no. I put my feet on the ground. I say I know what I was since the beginning. I survived to so much. I don't say. And when I say I know something, no matter what I say, I try to be free for any chain or blockage mentally, psychologically. People are trying to impart on us, because when you are a woman, you say, oh, you need to be aware of what you look, what you do. Okay, it's true, I need to be aware of what to look, and okay. But when I say something and coming from my brain, I need to see my capacity to think. And people, the fact we are women, say, okay, maybe we are thinking, but it's not valuable, worth it. And I say it's problematic, because if you are a genius and you have the solution, no matter who is coming from that answer, you have it, and people just need to hear it. It's very, I think, problematic, that that thing about accountability, to know what you worth, and to have people try to diminish you every time. It's very a brainwashing in some way.
Yes, it's a control tactic.
Yes, I always say something about Kim Kardashian. I go with the brainwash, because she created this all BBL thing, all this era of to be like a black woman, tan, lips and BBL, everything like that, and she make black woman very smart to go paid so much money to get surgery to go in that trend. Now we see Kim Kardashian going back in in more a white aesthetic, very thin, very sexy, very Ralph Lauren, very like that. And I say to all these black women who paid for Kim Kardashian product, or paid skincare, everything that from their brand, because there are black women make the fortune of the Kardashian. People are buying the Kylie Jenner product and the Kim Kardashian product are most black women. I see that.
Exactly.
You know what though? I'm sorry, this is throwing me in a very interesting way, because one of the things I said out loud, and we've talked about, is knowing her worth. Now it makes me want to go back and figure out where she was at the time when BET was sold originally.
Exactly.
Because what I learned watching Roland Martin Unfiltered, and I wished I had all the data in my brain, and I don't. But when BET was sold, it was basically sold for a ham sandwich, and they were not getting the same kind of revenue that your MTV and VH1 was getting, even though they had a larger viewership. And so they might have just been just undervaluing themselves. It might have come from the head.
Well, I mean, at this point, it makes me feel like, how many other affairs did he have up in there?
And did he get any repercussion of that? Did he get any repercussion of that? Truly?
Reparation.
No repercussion. Did
Reputation.
Reputation. No, this is the first I heard of it,
because I think it's from her memoir, so it's very recent. So he's alive today, this man?
Yeah,
he
is.
And remember, she was married too. They both were married.
Oh, he's with, okay. So
I know where Gabrielle's coming from. Gabby's like, can she sue him and get some money?
Exactly. Hey, Erin. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, maybe it
Hi,
can
Erin.
be good because legally it's a suing. She can sue him, because she was in hostage. She was blackmailed.
Absolutely. And just by the very nature of his position, that he was her superior, that is typically grounds for termination. And you know what? I mean, grounds for that she could sue him for. But what's really interesting is she could have taken him for a song, because and even though her affair began seemingly consensually, if she's asserting now that she told him she wanted to get out of the relationship, and he told her, no, you can't, because I'm gonna ruin you, that is just very much like if Naughty worked for you, Gabrielle,
Mm-hmm.
and or you were her supervisor and I was the big boss,
Okay.
and
Okay.
she told you that another person was harassing her,
Yes.
and you did nothing about it,
Okay.
then because you're an agent of the company, you're like the boss's agent, then that would open the door to sue the entire company. And
Oh.
I would absolutely find a way to argue that she reported it to her superior, who was her boss, who then retaliated against her. So I'm suing not only him civilly, but I'm going to sue the company too. And she could have owned it.
Okay, so she can do civil lawsuit, and it's remember is the same thing like Juan Dixon, alleged
Yep.
lawsuit is the
Yes.
same situation. Oh, now I understand much better. So when in this case of Juan Dixon with Robin, someone go to see the assistant of Juan Dixon himself and say, "Okay, I was harassed, by someone else. I don't do anything," and it
Mhm.
was, oh, I
So
understand.
because he did, see, because if it's true that Juan Dixon did not do anything, what will
Yes.
happen again, because he is in the position to act as the principal, which would then be cop and state, then
Okay.
he opens liability up to the entirety of the university.
Oh,
So not only is he responsible, can he be held personally responsible, but also the university. Now, the reason that they do this is called the deep pockets theory. One ain't got no money, but we can attach the university, and that's where
yes.
the money's going to come from. He's already been through losing everything, so
He's used to it. Good morning, everybody that just joined. Happy Woman History Month. Please make sure you guys are hitting that like button. We're having great discussion about, let's just say, like different issues that affect women in the workplace. We're having an open panel and we're just kind of going with the flow. And I just wanted to hear from my Naughty crew to see what was on your minds, to see what was trending topics for you. And I think the discussion has been great thus far, right, ladies?
yes.
Yes. But with this case specifically, when he say to her, "You can end the affair, and we need to pursue that," it's gonna be qualified like from assaulting in some way because he make a pressure. He uses power, and he had against her. So it can be criminal, but just civil lawsuit, not criminal, lawsuit like from an aggression, like an assault. She can just sue him on, on civil lawsuit, but not. She can have a prosecution crime or, against him, because it's not qualified like an assault thing, Because when you make a pressure to someone and make coercion, to use your power, blackmailing to get, pursuing this affair, this physical intercourse, it's maybe a form of assaulting.
I see. It can be assault.
Yes.
I would just want to know more about the timeline,
Uh-huh.
because you remember she said that they started dating, like openly dating, and people saw them out together. It don't matter, no, because if it's over, it's over. Huh. Man, this would have been good to I would have loved to have been in one of my classes and this been a case study.
Exactly. So I was very surprised. Uh-huh. The crime is
Sexual harassment
harassment
under title
in the workplace.
Mhm.
Remember that movie Disclosure? That's what it's called, with Michael Douglas and Demi Moore.
Oh yes, I remember that.
That was a case where it was a power dynamic. She tried to use her power to overcome him. He was married, but she seduced him to the point like he gave in. Like that should not be allowed in the workplace at all.
Yes.
Wow, Deborah Lee.
And we have that, that bombshell movie with the Fox News situation, with all these people, and they have, who is Kate? No, not Kate Chastain. I think it was Kate Chastain. The journalist. She get out of the Fox and so much and Diane Sawyer. I think it was that. I don't. It was a movie with Margot Robbie and Charlize Theron. I think. I don't know.
Charlize Theron.
Yes, Margot Robbie movie.
I didn't hear the beginning.
Okay, I will try to find the name.
Yeah, you can always put the link in the chat. Shout out to the Jasmine brand for capturing this interview. I thought they caught like the key points of it, and I wanted to bring it to my Knotty crew, especially for Women's History Month.
Okay, I do on the chat. It's calling Bombshell movie. It was about it's based upon the case of woman at Fox News when exposed the CEO Roger Ailes. It was that case, and it was said during this time all the journalists are, induced in some harassment situation. It was very something very big. I make the name. I don't know because it was in Fox News. You have what is people.
Bill O'Reilly.
Yes, Megyn Kelly, Gretchen Carlson, and Roger Ailes and Robert Murdoch. Megyn Kelly was on that, and Gretchen Carlson. With the O'Reilly, and Bob O'Reilly thing, everything like that. It was very huge scandal at this time. They make a movie about that.
Thank you. Wow. So I just thought this was interesting, Robin. Like, it speaks to what Gabrielle was talking about, that she has the same struggles in her country where men make more than the women and it's not equal.
And they have greater power, they have greater authority. They're seen and they're, even when they don't have the power, they're presented as more authoritative. Very interesting.
But it just goes to show that we still have our struggles here too. Like, it's a constant battle.
And you know what I think is very sad in some way? Home is not a question of job. No matter what job you can do, in working on Walmart or working like a CEO or high-end job, you already, when you are in woman, already in form of risk and danger with men, because it's create a clima, a stigma around woman. It's very, strange, because I remember I did this interview in Postcard. It was an actress, and she was speaking. She was filming a film, and she was really well known, the crew. And she said, and she see, the hair, the situation changing in the group in 2 seconds. She feel, really truly, the vibe changing, and she sees the power of that tribe of men, that crew, of men can be very dangerous against her, and she need to get out of this room as soon as possible. She was speaking just with them, and she feel, the vibe, the energy changing.
Exactly. And let's get on that topic. As far as like women, we have to be accountable and be aware of our surroundings. We have to be aware when someone is love bombing us and grooming us. Okay. Because, that's how they get you caught up. They're so nice and sweet and gentle in the beginning, right? They give you everything you want so that they can get close to you and rope you in. And then when they feel like they have you, they pounce on you. You understand? But it's a grooming process. You see, especially with me, like when I go out and stuff and I vlog and stuff like that, like I have to interact with people so I can network and connect or whatever. The moment someone turns my business and tries to make it personal and start flirting with me, I immediately set a boundary. Like, that's not what I'm here for. I appreciate the compliment. I'm flattered, but I'm in a relationship and I'm here about business. So if you want to talk about business, great. You understand? You have to project what you will, accept or whatever. And if you draw that line in the sand right away, it won't be no question. They don't feel like that will prevent them from keep trying to push the bar, push, because they're testing you to see how far they can go.
Okay. Oh.
Sorry, you just reminded me of something. You're right.
It's reminding me the situation with Giselle and Chris, but in some way we touched this topic, but she was turned in bad way. But I understand more what you said about that.
I was waiting for that analogy to come about from you, Gabrielle or Knotty, because I was thinking about. I was like, I'm not gonna go there because you know what? I'm gonna say this. I believe that Giselle is manipulative enough that the situation that came about, it was easy for her to turn it on its head because of her being a woman, because of being in these, you're in these spaces and you can be vulnerable or you can seem like you can be taken advantage of. I get, and so she probably set that in motion from the giddy up, but that's me not trusting her. Yeah,
and I can't stand how she weaponized being a victim.
Oh,
she played on words with that, and that's what I don't respect about it. Because like, if he really didn't do nothing, why you causing all this fuss months later when the cameras are on? It was real backhanded of her to do that, and that's the scenario I'm really really sick of with the housewives. Where they target people and stuff like that. Like, you don't have nothing else to do but try to tear somebody's relationship apart.
Can you imagine in your friend, air quotes, friend group having an accusation like that come out against your partner, Naughty? That's crazy.
I would be upset. Because look, let me tell you something. Don't come to me unless you got facts. I mean, pictures, proof.
I had a question. If Giselle just speaking about the feeling she feel, just speaking and not got so far away, can you think maybe Candice and Chris can listen that very very gently and normally, but not going all the storyline she create around that, but just create, okay, I was very good, I don't feel secure when we are alone, and just she stopped like that, speak once with Candice, and do you think she can get over that? But why do you think the situation can get if she just do that?
Oh, you know what? If I'm Candace, I'm never getting over it. I'm never forgiving you. I'm never trusting you. I'm never going to speak well of you. I'm never going to do anything but be moderately cordial to you.
Exactly. And that's just that being moderately cordial, Robert. I'll mute you behind, okay? Like, erase you from my memory. Like, don't come for my husband and try to make these accusations, especially in this climate that we live in. Okay, she tried to monopolize off of that on to get a storyline. All right. And it's just like, talk about your life. Why you tried to with Karen's marriage. Now you focusing on Candace and Chris. Let me tell you something about Chris. Chris is a very charismatic person. And I can relate to Chris. And I understand how he is. He's been nothing but friendly and nice to those women on the cast.
And never sexual, never anything like that ever.
He is
never saw that.
And I feel like, even when Ashley tried to make a big deal of the text message, like, you don't know that he worked at the W Hotel, like, you weren't a business owner, and you didn't connect with other people, like, hey, come through, support my restaurant or whatever. I just looked at his character and I just was like, nah. No,
it was
he done cook from these women when they done tried to gang up on his wife. He had to stop and calm Candace down when they tried to come for her and stuff like that. He always was the mediator. He always tried to counsel Candace and tell her, like, look, you got to handle this a better way. So for Giselle to put out that accusation with no foundation, proof, or you know what I mean? It was disgusting. I was disgusted with her.
Gutter snipe was kind of appropriate.
I think Candace chose her words very well. I was proud of
I think that her behavior definitely this season really speaks to the marriage of her and Chris, because I think that he's been able to coach her to be able to be as measured as she was.
And articulate. And she admitted she went to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
She used, this is an example of someone using their tools, people. Candace had very good self-control this season, and they tried to come for her.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to come for her. Dr. Wendy, too. I'm sorry. People may be mad, but I may have had that same response if somebody threw something on me. Okay? Like, come on. Use your words. Use your words like a grown-up. It's never okay to get that aggressive because you don't like someone's words. But this is the behavior I'm talking about, Robin, that is promoted out with these reality shows. They're making it okay for you to lash out.
Exactly.
You understand?
And to accuse someone of something and doesn't help other women, because with that situation, we can't just speak about that. What she said exactly, I don't remember. About the fact, she believed when a woman speaks, she was in bad situation, but I don't remember what she said exactly. And it's not helping other women because she wants to believe, victims.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That's topic because at the end, we have a woman accusing an husband of other woman, and the situation with Robin and Juan Dixon and this lawsuit, of harassment too. It was a very big topic, the question of the harassment on that show this year.
Yes,
shame.
It's a lot. It's an imbalance, and it's selective outrage. In the words of Chris Rock, okay, I'm so sick of the double standards.
Mm-hmm.
All over the place. It's all over. It's on social media. It's in TV. It's all over. I'm so sick of the double standards, and I'm just here to say, stand in what you believe.
I want to say that I'm not. My plan is not to open Pandora's box, but to make a point.
Mm-hmm.
With everything that has been said about Chris Rock's Netflix special, this many days out, what sticks with me is the title. I have been using that title, and I didn't realize it until just now that selective outrage has been the current mantra. And I think it's really important just to focus on that as a concept, because that's how we've been living, especially thank you, social media. This is how we have been living. This is how we've been reacting to people and things. You see something, okay, just think, you see one thing posted on social media, and then people go to town on it. Mm-hmm. So I bet you later on today there's going to be a whole lot of stuff on the Twitter about Harry and Meghan's children being officially titled Prince and Princess. Not just an acknowledgement, but there's going to be a group of people who are going to just be going off on the palace and the royals for waiting this long to announce it, even though the decision was made in December, right? And everybody's going to pounce on it because they're just going to find something to be outraged about. We're going to pick this to be angry about today.
It's ridiculous, and unfortunately, people are chasing clicks and views, and that's what they're going to talk about. The hottest topic. It happens in YouTube all the time. It's certain things that just trend. Even recently, what was it? Tasha K, Chelsea, and I forget old boy name. AT2 had him on. No, Conscious TV had him on. But they stirred up this whole big mess, and it's the same pattern that they do. They try to partner with YouTube. Tasha K makes it seem like, oh, this YouTuber burned her. She uses that as an excuse to go on Instagram, talk pure crap about the person after she partnered with them. You see what I'm saying? But people need to see it's all a baiting system. It's all to bring attention. It's her birthday this week. She wants to bring clicks and views to her channel. So her and Chelsea don't mind getting messy and stirring the pot and throwing out false narratives. And what?
Speaking of false narratives,
He's not a big woman. It's
Go
not.
ahead, Gabrielle. I'm sorry.
It's not. You know, this way to work in YouTube. Woman, Tasha K is a woman, and she created her celebrity to get thrown under the bus another woman like a Cardi B, and she paid that. And I think this, you know, woman in YouTube, black woman, black African American woman on YouTube need to be more, you know, in group or in sorority in some way to help each other.
Gabrielle, unfortunately, it's a lot of snakes out there
Yes.
with agendas. And you really have to vet the YouTubers that you collaborate with and this and that. And see, me, I'm not possessive. Like, I want people to move around and stuff like that. I move around. But vet your panels that you get on, because some of them are just messy, period. They just about the mess. So you got to know who you get involved with. That's just the bottom line. And just know these people are virtual. You don't know them personally. You know, they're only presenting the version that they want you to believe them to be. And not everybody is genuine. And that's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. And until people prove their character to you, you know what I mean? Where you feel like you should get involved with the panel and stuff like that, I say proceed with caution, because it's always snakes.
Yeah. To that point, did you see the posted video by Kevin Hart and Nick Cannon?
No, I did not. What was it about?
They posted this video about an upcoming show on the E! News Network, something about searching for my next baby mama is the way that what I'm going to call it.
Oh my God.
No. It's a joke. It's a joke.
So I was like, this has got to be a joke, right? Because I looked at it and I was very offended, right? I went to the E! News channel website. Nothing was on. I said, okay, they're just joking.
Yes.
And I don't. Oh, but then Lonnie Love posted something, and we've been in communication on the Twitter. I like to say the Twitter. And so I sent her a message. And I said, oh, and by the way, can you please ask them people to either your people at E! to either pull that or talk to your boys, because what is that about? Because they can't be serious. And she wrote me back something I should pull it up on my Twitter, something to the effect of, nah, it is serious. I was like, what do you mean? And it freaked me out. And then she said, oh no, it's a let me pull it up. It's a video about something, a project that's in the works. And I'm like, it was in the poorest taste ever.
So, okay, they try to create this, you know, a topic of woman, black American, African American woman, you know, African American woman in USA, just be a baby mama. They try just to make this stigma on woman again. You know, the word baby mama, I found that very, you know, insulting, because a mother is the first word you say. A mom is the first word you say instead baby mama. You know, you have already a word. What is the I don't understand what is coming from this baby mama, you know, expression. Truly. Because for me, it's I don't understand that you are mom for your kids and, you know, the companion of your partner, but you're not a baby mama. It's very insulting in some way, you know.
Exactly. It's degrading in a way. Erin, thank you so much. She commented, she said kind of off topic. No, it's no off topic today, you guys. We're open topic. But I love the Chronicles of the Gray Haired Diva and Royal Worlds doing their YouTube tour. I love it too. Like, I had a good time with them creating the show. We had a blast. I was able to connect them to some good YouTubers to expand the tour and things like that. So like I collaborate with those who I feel like are on my same vibe and energy level. Okay, because I'm not out here just spewing negativity and hate. I like to do my little gossip stuff, you know, get a little messy or whatever, but I want to create a healthy community around Knotty Love Movement, you know what I'm saying, where we are able to collaborate.
Yes, it's true. It's true. But the baby mama thing, I'm shocked. I'm sorry. It's like a Nick Cannon as this baby mama thing he had to. I don't understand.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So when I wrote her, she wrote me back, I think it's a real show. I'll report back. And I said, if it's true that I'm going to give up with all of that we've endured, overcome, and continue to fight for today, this is enough to knock me off my feet. It's a
It's
gut punch.
disrespectful to the legacy and what our people
Exactly.
fought for all these years, and you just gonna be irresponsible with your seed like that. When is enough enough? You
But wait,
was
this is what about this. This is what Lonnie wrote me back. She says, "Who's having my baby?" is actually a gag orchestrated by Kevin Hart as a sketch for an upcoming, not yet announced project. And all I can say is that is in poor taste. Period. You know, it's in light of Nick Cannon's personal behavior that he's made very public, and also just about not just I was going to say about the Black family, but just families in general. It's a denigration to families, family life,
Yes,
and it's really disrespectful to his own children.
yes, it's true.
Can you imagine?
Because you don't
Can you
have,
imagine?
a family unity, so you disaggregate the unity of family. It's not good for kids. Kids need to have a
they
parent.
need to have a solid family foundation, okay? And you run a risk of siblings dating each other when you do things like that, when you're irresponsible with your seed.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a question about that, because I see how she said yes, people don't value mother. It's true in France. For retirement thing, when you are a single mother, you lost 50% of your retirement with a new law because you are a single mother.
Wow, that's like punishing you if
Yes,
you become a single mother. Well, I
yes.
mean, I guess they're trying to promote the foundation of family that way, though.
Okay, so when in France, the law for a retirement, because the topic of mother is very interesting, and I am woman, I will lose 30% of my retirement. I put with I working when I will be older, because I'm a woman. I lost 30% of my retirement funding, and single mother. If you are single mother and woman, you lost 40% of your retirement funding too by the new law.
Oh my gosh.
Why is very people make strike now, and you are very very painful and high risk job. You need to work under 64-year-old, like a firefighter, like a truck driver, like very difficult job, like a nurses, or like take care of old people or disability people. It's very physical job, and
Yeah,
you
right.
work under 64-year-old, and
Oh
you
my
are a woman, a single woman. You need to work to 64-year-old, but you lost 40% because you are a single mother. It was a law in
Wow.
France.
wow. You
and
know that?
and when you are a single woman like me, I don't have kids, and I'm single. I lost 30% of my retirement when I go in my 30 and my 64-year-old. It's a new law, and you see the topic
Wow.
of human right is true, because at the end this law is making by men, and they make the targeted woman alone, single woman, and single mother too at the end.
You look at that and see, look, to all the baby mama culture out there in America, this is what you could be facing. Gabrielle's from Paris.
And
They basically tax you for being single, period.
exactly, and
So,
single
and
mother
then they tax you double when you're a single mother.
too.
What if you're a widowed mother?
What if
And
you
widow mother is same, because you are single mother at the end. You are widow in some time, but you are single mother, so is it tax you. And we had a book in French about the economy of the couple. A woman, when you are with a man, you lose much money than a man, because you paid everything and the man paid the big thing, but at the end the man get the car if you are separating, but you paid everything. Is not you can keep with you food, activities for your kids, sport, everything like that. It's not something. And the question of money on the on the couple between two partners is very important in the wedding too. In USA you have prenup, okay, but remember the situation we see Ashley and her prenup.
well, she didn't get a lawyer. That Ashley
She
is
doesn't get the lawyer, but
dumb as-
we see so much, in housewife. I see all the things you don't need to do if you want to have money in your life. We see you need to have a good prenup and a lawyer.
like Camille. Remember Camille's settlement from
Yes.
the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
Beverly Hills.
Yes,
Mhm.
she had a good point. And sometimes I think we need to learn the lesson for all these women, the good and the bad lesson, because we see this woman in some way are also victim or actress of this woman month story.
You got to protect your assets. You know, when you come together in a marriage, that is more business than anything, and you got to remove the love and handle your business, so that if you guys decide to part way, it's clear how you're going to part way. It's no fights, clean
Right.
cut. And but still, you protect your assets. Look at all these women that ended celebrities like Wendy Williams, Mary J. Blige. They all ended up paying alimony to their cheating husbands. That's because the business was not in order. You
But you know
understand?
what? Both of them made the conscious decision to do what they did. Mary had in her, I think she had a prenup that spoke to what she would pay him if they divorced. So she messed that up. And Wendy messed it up by not following her own advice. Because, and I keep saying every time I get the chance, I will never forget watching Wendy Williams talk about the dissolution of Mary J. and Kendu's marriage. She was raving because she didn't feel like Mary should have to pay this man all this alimony because he worked for her and he was paid handily as in his job. And she said he should have, stacked his coins. And so I remember her being angry, but then you turn around and you were in the same position. Well,
Exactly.
except in the end, I think that Wendy's going to come out the winner because
Wendy's totally doing this on purpose, you guys. She wasn't going to pay for that side baby. She was not going to pay.
I was the first one to say it. Y'all.
I said
You're
it
right.
too.
But and the thing is, it's people again. I still think that she is ill. I know she's ill, but I also know that whoever her attorney was, who drew up her papers, the thing is, Kelvin was so assured that he knew Wendy well because Wendy also said she loved that job. She loved being on TV. And she was told by Deb Marr that she could have that job as long as she wanted to until the day she died. I don't think she said till the day she died, but she had said words to that effect on her show. And so she gave every indication that this was her. She was always going to do that. So he was real comfortable with that being
living off of her. Living off of her. That's disgusting.
But that's what made him so comfortable with the language in their agreement when they dissolved the marriage. As long as she does that Wendy Williams show, I'm gonna get paid.
And Wendy got rid of Wendy
my mother
Williams.
said the slick can't outslick the slicker. She got him.
Okay. So that leaves me. I want to move on to my next topic because I'm about to close out. I got to get me some breakfast and stuff. But it is Paris Fashion Week. Y'all know I love Fashion Week, okay?
Yes, I know that. The first day of the Fashion Week, we have a big strike in Paris. It was like a hell.
You should have took pictures. Make sure you take pictures and send it to
me.
Can you?
Now this year I don't have invitation because I don't ask invitation. Okay. So, but last year I had, but I was sick. But this year, the first day of the Fashion Week, it was the first day of the big strike, and we have some manifestant people on the street with fire. My street was on fire. Some people, burned things. It was hell. And strike with no train, no subway, no bus.
Exactly. Oh man, this is Harris Reed and Nina Ricci. They debuted their lines.
Oh, it's beautiful. I see that.
I know. I'm liking the platform shoes.
Nina Ricci is beautiful. I loved it. This one,
Yeah.
I don't like the shoes. I find them very, it's not my type thing.
I think this is like Met Gala gear,
Yes, I love the gray dress.
This is beautiful.
I think I don't know if Chanel or Dior make this one. You can wear it easily. Not this one. The costume. The costume is very sexy.
Yes. And as soon as I saw this, Gabrielle, I thought of you. I said, yes, Paris Fashion Week.
The Fashion Week. I went Chanel and Dior and Schiaparelli house too. And I know if Valentino already had it. I need to maybe not yet, but
Oh, I want to see Valentina.
I think
One
it
of my
was.
favorite designers. They make some beautiful gowns. Remember Oprah used to have a special just for him.
Yes, but Sutton is. I will tell you that I know Sutton because she was a high fashion, you know, clients from Fashion Week. She's very well known in Paris of that. She's a big client for Fashion Week before to do Housewife. It's very.
Mm.
It's very Lisa Vanderpump. She's known too from some people I know too. And I had and it's very she's very well known, but certain she's very well known by high designer from Paris.
Wow. And what other designers? Usually, is it a lot of Italian designers that come through Paris?
Designers you can have you have Balenciaga, but I don't know who is now the designer of Balenciaga because so much
Yeah, that's why I'm asking because I know a lot of them dropped
Balenciaga.
out during the Kanye.
No, you know what I heard? Some people are moving on the Balenciaga team, but the news is very not clear. Balmain, it's always Olivier Roustin. Oliver Roustin, it's the Balmain. He make a movie because you need to see that he was adopted. He was
All right.
adopted.
And Zaya Way was also featured. Did the first walk in Paris Fashion Week. She
Yes.
was gorgeous, proud of her.
She need to learn to walk maybe because she need to move like it's very hard to walk on on this catwalk very hard. Naomi Campbell, she was on the
Yeah, she needs to saunter. She's not gliding.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
it's like a ballet dancer classical. You need to sway your movement. It's very hard because when I was young I work in a fashion industry. I watch the thing on for makeup artists. I had the possibility to work on catwalk. You don't need to walk normally. It's very like a dancer. You need to have your signature. It's very hard, because you have all this flash, all this light. It's very hard. But she's good, but she need to learn to walk. Truly.
Exactly.
And
Beginning
each
stages. Like, I'm just proud, like that she's able to stand in her truth, and her parents gave her a safe haven, just to be herself, and they just loved her through it. And look at her, they had to go through another court battle with her mom and everything. Ultimately, they won again, and yeah, happy for Zaya. Excuse me.
but she's cute. She's tall. I think she's very tall because she's not. But it's very hard for Black women to go in Paris Fashion Week.
Oh yeah, it's hard. I remember Tyra Banks used to say how hard it was to be a model over in Paris.
Yes, because Paris you need to be very thin, much than New York. Very
Yeah.
thin. And worth for to be thin. It's Milan Fashion Week, because the Italian clothes are very very restricted on your body, very stretch, and you need to be very size very little. It's why I was very surprised when not Donatella Versace but the other Dolce Gabbana get the contract with the Kardashian family because they are not very thin from them. Because
okay.
yes, Dolce Gabbana, it's very they are very mean guy. They say Selena Gomez, she was ugly. They are very mean people. So, but I'm happy that
the fashion industry is harsh. Period. Okay.
Oh, we tell you that. But we
harsh.
have now. I think we have a black guy now. Is a fashion designer on maybe it was what. A new big designer. I think it was maybe on Balmain. No, black designer. It was in French, a fashion show.
Yes.
In
Okay,
Paris.
guys. So we're about to end the show here. What I have coming up this Friday night, I'm going to be vlogging. It's a Black-owned business in my area. I've been watching them come up and grow. We connected when I was doing my vending in last summer.
Yes.
And they're having a game night event, and they're called Brown Mill Company, and it's a clothing design, Black owned, but they make all their fits custom to you, like they're real tailors. You know, they measure
Oh,
you out and everything. And they have a lot of dope pieces. So I'm gonna be there Friday. I'm gonna vlog it with you guys. And it should be fun because it's gonna be some music. Uh, they're having exclusive garments available to purchase, refreshments, drinks available. It should be fun. So I want to bring you guys on the journey with me.
okay. Did you have the website? Did you have the link of the website of this,
It's called Brown. They're on Instagram,
Okay.
and it's under Brown, like the color, Mill, ILL, Company.
A que hora?
Okay, I found them.
Yes. Okay.
Nadia, what time?
I will follow them and I will try to report their thing to have to have people to come.
Exactly. So it's gonna be Friday. It starts at like 9:30 or whatever. I'm gonna get there early so I can just kind of network and make connections before everything gets, all hype and loud or whatever. But you ladies, happy Women's History Month. Okay, thank you so much for joining me on my panel today. I appreciate both of y'all. I value both of your opinions. To the utmost. We always have good conversations. Any closing thoughts, Robin?
Grazie. Y tenía un buen día. Por todo.
Thank you. What does translate?
I said, thank you and have a good day, everybody.
Gracias. Thank you.
French, if we want. Okay. Merci à vous. Thank you to everybody. And I love this moment. J'ai adoré ce moment with Naughty Love. She's like a heart. Elle a le cœur plus grand que le monde. And you have your heart much, bigger than the world.
Exactly.
And thank you and can we hope maybe a New Jersey, recap maybe one day or maybe at the end of the week? We don't know. Maybe
Sunday we could do a double. We'll double it up. That's it. We'll talk about 2 episodes.
I will see Sunday because I have something. I have to think maybe I don't know when, but I will tell you that the time because
we'll coordinate times. It's fun.
Because the each different part of the world we don't have the same time. So thank you to everybody. Love to everybody. Bye bye.
Love.
Thank you.
And you ladies have a wonderful day. I'll drop you down. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please remember to hit that like, subscribe, and that bell button. Also, please don't forget to place your orders for your head wraps. Okay, we have them for all. We have them for men. We have them for women. We have them for babies. And if you don't if you don't know how to rap, I have an upcoming show on Juice Radio Talk Show. It's on March the 18th at noon, and we're going to get into my journey regarding how I came upon a head wrap line, how I started to come with this look and everything. So I'm so excited to coordinate with you. She's such a wonderful spirit. Please go over to her channel and subscribe so that you can get notifications when we go live. I'm so super duper psyched. Okay. So please remember to hit that like, subscribe, and that bell button. Let me say thanks so much, everybody, for joining me. All right. And to all my haters. And I want to say thank you in case I don't thank you enough. We love y'all too. We embrace the haters over here at Knotty Love Movement, okay? We're not going to feed into all that negativity. So I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow evening when I vlog. I'm going to be at Brown Mill Company. It's going to be in Newark, New Jersey on Halsey Street. Look them up. Follow them on Instagram. It's Dope Fit. And I'm so excited. All right. And that's all I have for you today, guys. Until next time, Knotty Crew, I'm out. 1